Hello friends, how are you guys doing? Hey, I have to be kind of quiet because my family is sleeping because it's 10:20 at night. It is Tuesday, October 24th, 2017, and I know that because today is my daughter's birthday. So it's a wonderful day for me. She turned 21 today. So I wanted to come by and give you an update. I've been doing all right, I suppose. So back on January 23rd, 2017, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. My highest weight ever was 261. Surgery weight was 250. And today I am 175, which is a loss of, I believe it's 6 pounds in the past month, which it's a little bit on the lower side, but I kind of understand why my weight loss has slowed, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, one of the major things I wanted to talk to you guys about is what I'm doing now and what is happening, what could be happening in the future. So, right now, at 9 months post op, I eat between 800 and 1,000 calories. My protein goal is about 70 to 80 grams of protein per day. However, now that I follow a vegetarian diet, it's very hard for me to get those protein goals met unless I supplement with protein shakes. So I still am doing that, but probably only a couple times a week do I actually make my protein goals. My water is still a problem ever since day one. I've always had problems with getting my fluids in, but I'm always working on that, and I'm always trying to get all my goals met. I've been seeing the nutritionist, and she's the one that gave me the goal of 800 to 1,000, and which is perfect because that's sort of my capacity. I eat very few calories during the day and most of my calories in the evening, actually, which she does not approve of, but that's kind of where my hunger kind of is more towards the end of the day. So, but what I want to talk a lot about is if you guys have been following me, and thank you everyone that's my new subscribers. It's so awesome to see that number. But and everyone that's new, welcome to my channel. For those that have been sort of following my journey here, you guys know that I've had acid reflux pretty severely since really straight off after surgery. And I do have a history of acid reflux. I had had it for several years where I had actually a chronic cough. But because I didn't actually have severe acid reflux symptoms, it was more considered, it was called silent reflux. So it was causing the damage of acid reflux without really having a literal sensation of like what I do now, basically. But I had for me, what it caused was a cough. So I had a real like a chronic every single day, every single night, coughing like all the time. And so I'd gone to the doctor many times. They thought it was asthma or it was allergies, or they had so many different theories, and I had a bunch of diagnoses. But now that I've gotten it worse, I realize, and I've done more kind of educating myself on it, I really do believe it was acid reflux the whole time. But unfortunately, my doctor, my surgeon that did the VSG surgery, didn't feel that having acid reflux would be a hindrance to getting vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and encouraged me to do so. So unfortunately, I did not. I guess I didn't listen to other videos, and I'd heard that, but my doctor was so adamant that I really trusted him. So now that leads me to where I'm at now with my acid reflux. So I told you guys how I was getting the endoscopy, and I told you about, I think I told you the result of the endoscopy, but just in case I didn't, the results are a diagnosis of a hiatal hernia, which I recall now. I did tell you guys about that. So I have a hiatal hernia. I have gastritis, which is basically just an inflammation of the stomach. And I have, there's another word, it's irritation of the esophagus. Can't quite remember what that word is right now. But what is more severe is I also have Barrett's esophagus, which is caused from having acid reflux for a long period of time. And it can lead to precancer. And then, of course, precancer can lead to cancer. But a small percentage of people that have Barrett's esophagus, it can go into a more serious cancer. And, of course, we know that's serious. So I am now faced with the decision of surgery. And now that I've done more research, I have found that I would not qualify for the typical hiatal hernia surgery, or the surgery that's usually offered to people with gastric or acid reflux, because my tummy is not large enough. Because what they do for other people, you've got the esophagus, you've got the stomach, and they use the stomach to kind of wrap around the esophagus to kind of create like a spot, like almost like a valve, but they use the actual stomach, like the full size stomach, to do that. Well, after a VSG, my stomach is that big. So it is now on the decision table on whether or not I should get a revision surgery to gastric bypass. So I've definitely been thinking about that. The problem is that I can't eat very much right now, and I'm 9 months out, and so my tummy is very small. So with a revision from sleeve to gastric bypass, they actually cut the stomach in half, and then they do the whole bypassing part to that part. So my stomach is only like that big already. So like that big, like really, like. So I'm really struggling with the decision on whether or not I should pursue it. I don't know. Any advice would be certainly welcome. But this acid reflux is really severe, and it's really affecting my life, quite a bit. It's really severe at night. I've actually been sleeping on the couch a lot so that I can stay reclined. But my couch is not the most comfortable couch. And I've told you guys about I'm doing this darn remodel of my house, and so it's just a mess. All my furniture. That's why I'm sitting in this weird position. I've been painting the beams of the house. I just finished painting the beams. Thank goodness. It was such a hard job. But now I'm painting the walls. And so I'll be painting the walls, and then we'll be replacing the floor. But I'm having to do it on my own because my husband actually has a little bit of an injury right now, so I'm doing it all by myself. But that's all right. But basically the point of me telling you that is that I don't have comfy couches right now. We actually got rid of our comfy couches because we're going to buy new furniture once the remodel is done. So I'd much rather be sleeping in my bed, basically. That's the point. But because of my acid reflux, I'm just awake too much, and I'm very like tossy and turny, and I'm keeping my husband awake, and it's not good. So that's really a big problem, really big problem. So any advice, if you guys have any input, or if you guys know of any other procedures. I do see the gastric enterologist on Thursday this week, and go back to the thyroid, the endocrinologist doctor. And then, oh gosh, and I have this other thing going on. Oh my gosh. There's certain people that we all know, and unfortunately I am that person, that has all sorts of weird ailments, and just one thing after another. Unfortunately, that is me. So last month I started having really bad backache, but I thought that maybe I just needed to go to the chiropractor. But I noticed that I was really complaining about it a lot at work. And then I started to have like these weird like symptoms, like when I was going to the restroom. So I ended up going to the doctor because I was worried I was having like muscle loss or protein, something. I felt like something was not right. And so I went, and it turns out I had a kidney infection. But when they did a ultrasound on my kidney, they found out that I have a partially obstructed kidney. And that is especially bad because I have really severe endometriosis. And 7 years ago, I had a completely obstructed kidney because of endometriosis. And so there is a concern that it could be back. And so hopefully, so Friday, I go see the, what kind of doctor is that called? Urologist. So I'm going to the endocrinologist Thursday, the urologist on Friday, and Tuesday, the endocrinologist. Yeah, that's kind of my life right now. So I just have a lot of medical stuff going on, and you guys, but in terms of, I wanted to talk about this phase of this being this far out of surgery. I don't have any restriction in terms of what I can eat. I have never experienced the typical dumping syndrome. I know some people that have VSG have had it. I know it's not as common as gastric bypass, but so I can basically eat anything I want within reason and not get a stomach upset. The more likely if I were to get a stomach issue, it would be because I ate too much or too fast. It's not the actual food that I'm eating. I do eat a vegetarian, and so one of the reasons I wanted to do that, besides the health benefits and wanting to try to reduce inflammation, which I learned that meat can be a trigger for inflammation, is that I did have a little bit harder time. I could only eat really small quantities of meat, and it seemed like it was hard to just kind of balance meals when I wasn't able to eat that much meat, and I was focusing too much on the meat part. So now what I do is I focus on other things to get better nutrition. But I have really been trying to find like alternative sources of protein. And I did want to mention drinks like Isopure and like Atkins shakes and Premier Protein shakes, because I did actually find a new shake or a new drink that I've been drinking. It reminds me of the Isopure, but it's a little bit less. And I just wanted to show you guys. It's called Protein 2O, almost like, like it would be like H2O, but Protein 2O. That's my guess at least. And this has 15 grams of protein, 60 calories. So this, I've been kind of drinking these, but like I said, if you've ever had Isopure, it kind of reminds me of that. But it's a little bit better. But I think that generally speaking, but in terms of what I feel has slowed my weight, is that I've really noticed that now that I don't have any sort of restriction on what the foods I eat, I have been really stressed. I'm having a lot of stress because I told you about my mother-in-law, and things are much worse than they were last time I talked about it. But so she's got stage 4 cancer, but it's very, very severe, very, very severe. So that is very stressful. My husband going through a lot of stuff at work with an injury at work that he's been placed on light duty. That's stressing me out. This remodel is stressing me out. I have a position at work that I have a lot of responsibility. That, of course, stresses me out. But I have never considered myself a stress eater. And now I kind of feel that I am. And maybe I'm just more in tune to it. But like, there's a lot of triggers around me right now. I have, ever since I was a little girl, my parents, when they would take me to the movies, they would get me red vines. So red vines has a very positive association in my mind. There's a ton of red vines. I've been just going after the red vines lately. Also, Famous Amos little chocolate chip cookies. really positive association with those. And so they're like, if I see those, they're a trigger. And I happen to have a whole box of them in my house, which is just stupid for even buying it in the first place. But I have found myself not eating good, healthy food, instead eating red vines. Last week I was kind of joking because I've talked about on this channel that I haven't told anybody at work that I've had weight loss surgery. I just say that I eat a low calorie, concentrate on the protein, and that I'm vegetarian. But I was making a joke last week that I felt like I was on the red vine diet. And that's not good. It does not make me feel good at all. But so the fact that I even lost 5 pounds, I understand why I only lost 5 pounds. I'm also in a stage where, and I've kind of experienced this the whole time, where I will actually lose a little bit more. So I had actually gone down to 172, and then I went back up to 176, and then now I'm back to 175, and so I'm jumping around a lot. I had the same issue last month when I did my video. I had weighed in, and I was less, and then I weighed in again, and I was higher, and I just kept going higher and higher. So maybe it's a transition of, and just my body just trying to balance out and just trying to find it's like a set point. But my diet has not been, I'm not going over my calories. I'm not at all going over calories. It's just the quality of the food I'm eating is less. My appetite, I really don't have a great appetite yet. I'm very thankful for that. But I only really get hungry maybe like at nighttime, and maybe a couple times during the day, and like a cheese stick, I'm good. Drinking a Atkins shake, I'm good. I don't really need to eat a lot at each time. But this video is getting longer than I wanted to, but thanks for hanging in there with me. Guess I really appreciate any advice on the revision. If you have any experience or if you've heard anything, I'd really like to hear it. Let's see, it's 10:37 now, so I guess I should be getting to bed. But you guys are awesome. I so appreciate all of your feedback, all your support. You guys are just great. Thank you. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in a month, okay? Bye.